camera? Or don't look at the camera?
Yeah, I mean, in this general direction.
For this interview, we spoke with self-acclaimed coffee enthusiasts Rachel and Jeff Liu to hear what they have to say about coffee. Do you consider yourself a coffee fanatic?
You can answer,
I'm definitely a coffee fanatic. Gotta have at least a cup of coffee a day.
Tell us about your introduction to coffee. How were you first introduced?
You wanna go first?
You can go ahead.
Okay, so I was, I think when I first started really drinking coffee, I was at Life in college, and my friend introduced me to a white chocolate Americano, and to this day, still drinking that.
Yeah, that's very true. Mm-hmm.
So,
We'll have coffee at home, and then she'll still want that.
do you have a favorite coffee shop that you go to all the time? Or a place that you like to get coffee from?
Starbucks all the way.
Is that because like convenience or?
No,
Just-
I like the flavor of their coffee the best. Sorry, coffee kiosk.
Oh, that's okay.
How do you feel when you drink coffee? And how do you feel when you miss your daily coffee?
Sure to answer that one.
Yeah, how do I feel?
She could be a little bit short, is a good way to put it. Before her coffee, and she's kind of like sluggish, and she won't really kind of notice everything or get everything done in a timely manner.
Yeah. But when I drink coffee, I feel just like it gives me an incentive to do something, so I feel more purposeful when I drink coffee.
And she'll be more willing to go somewhere if we stopped and get coffee first.
You talked about missing your daily coffee, but what effect does missing your daily time with God have on you?
That has a huge effect because I feel almost kind of in the sense the same way, just kind of foggy and just short on the promises that God has for me. And just kind of in the same way, just not really sure, like in direction of, kind of sluggish and sure in the direction of what He has for me that day.
And for me, like, I don't really notice a difference until I just happen to listen to a worship song or something, and then it kind of just dawns on me that like I feel so much better and just more filled with life, really, after I sing a worship song or two in the car or whatever, and I feel like I should start my day with that, just so I remind myself of God's glory and just the things He has for me.
The Word says that we, as Christians, are the aroma of Christ. What does it mean when you hear that?
Can you say that again? Sorry.
Oh, no. Okay. The Word says that we, as Christians, are the aroma of Christ.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean to you?
I think aroma really goes back to like Old Testament ideas of sacrifice, and that the sacrifice was supposed to be pleasing and the smell would be pleasing to God. And so in the sense that that's who we are, that we sacrifice ourselves, like of our own wants, our own thoughts, our own things that we think we should be doing, and as we lay that down and follow God, that is the aroma of, and that's pleasing to God.
Introducing a non-coffee drinker to coffee can be challenging. What can you say about introducing a non-believer to Jesus?
I think that's just as challenging.
Can I answer this one?
Sure.
Do you want to answer?
You can go ahead.
I think that in the same way of, you know, coffee drinkers or not, like, they're kind of set in their ways.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a non-coffee drinker, if they don't like it, if they think it's gross, they're just like, nope, not going to drink it. And with a non-believer, it can kind of have, depending on where they're at, can have that same attitude of, nope, don't want to hear it, because they're kind of bombarded with just, I think with media, with like kind of fake religion almost, where if you're able to describe who God is and just like the love that God has and just who he really is, then people can start to see that in their lives. Like with coffee, where if you're able to describe what good coffee is like, then they might be a little bit more open to it.
Thank you. Okay, so as a personal example, I don't usually drink coffee, and whenever I do, it has to have sugar and cream and all kinds of stuff to like mask the bitterness. But my grandma, who's been drinking coffee for basically her whole life, she just drinks it black, and she doesn't add anything, and she just drinks just the coffee.
Using the example, how can you compare people maturing in the way that they drink coffee to the ways that they experience God?
I think that's a very good like kind of observation, really. Like,
No? Okay.
I have no idea.
So, our church's values are love, mend, train, send. And I feel like that really has a lot to do with this like maturity process where you first come and we're just gonna love you. We're gonna not sugarcoat, but just you add the fluff and the hot white chocolate and the caramel and the syrups. You're gonna just love that person where they're at, and that's it. And then you move to mend, and mend is really working in, the struggles that they face and the things like that. So it's taking a little bit of the caramel out, and now you just have your sugar. And then train is really changing your mindset of, well, this is how God thinks, this is how I think, and I need to realign that. And that's, now you're drinking black coffee, and so you're ready to be sent into what God has for you. So, yeah.
That's pretty good. That's way to put it.
It has been said that the higher altitude that coffee beans are grown in, the stronger the coffee is. Can you draw a comparison to the higher that we grow in Christ to our strength as a Christian?
Can I answer that one?
No, I'm kind of blurry on that one.
Okay. So the higher that we grow in God, the stronger we become. Like coffee, the higher it's grown, the stronger taste. I think just the more, just like we were talking about with love, mend, train, send. Love, mend, train, send. The more that you are maturing in God and growing stronger in Him, that our faith is more solid in our lives because you know the voice of the Lord and you know the things that He would say and the promises that He has said in your life. And so that's your foundation. And so when you have that stronger foundation as you mature, then we become closer to God and stronger in who He is and who He's created us to be.
Do you have any other thoughts on how you've grown in your coffee drinking and your walk with God?
So basically just tie everything together.
Yeah. Do you want to answer that? You've grown in coffee drinking. He's converted to coffee drinking.
I have not converted to coffee.
Slowly.
you say that again, actually?
Okay. Any other thoughts about how you've grown in your coffee drinking and your Christian walk?
Well, when I first started drinking coffee, I started drinking, like the blended, really, really sweet drinks, and those really don't have too much coffee, and they have like maybe an ounce of coffee in those. And as I kind of started drinking more and more coffee, I started drinking more pure coffee without all those other kind of sweet things that mask the flavor of the coffee. And I think it's the same in my Christian walk, because in the beginning, you just kind of go to church. That's all you do. You just attend services. You really don't do much else to experience God. But as I started serving and just really learning about the Word more and just getting to the pure essence of God, like, I just saw my Christian walk just like make leaps and bounds, and that really all started when I started serving, and just like just taking time out of my own life and changing my thoughts into God's thoughts more, is when I just really saw something big happen.
So much. That's basically pretty much all the questions. So thank you. We'll edit it so if there's
So
any
we don't
part
look
that
really dumb.
don't worry.
Okay, cool.
So thank you so much.
Yeah,
I hope you didn't feel any pressure or uncomfortable.
No,
Just
good questions.
something for the
I want to steal this camera.